It's an ancient story. What the land provides is packed and shipped to cities and beyond. Then rural people follow, looking for work to feed their families back home. With no local value addition and fewer people to work the small farms, machines and monoculture strip the land, and in the name of efficiency, they push traditional crops aside. In the village of Kinchlingi, in the Gajapathy district of Orissa, India, that age-old story is being rewritten. Local Niger seed was shipped around the world for bird feed. Another oil seed, Karanja, was also exported in the past to make soap, but recently to feed the world's need for biodiesel. Now these seeds are fueling an evergreen revolution back home and are beginning to turn the wheels of a local economy. Kinchlingi is a small village of 15 houses and a population of 75. A place on the wayside, too easily ignored by mainstream development. Here, water was from a stream. Women carried vessels along a narrow, steep, and treacherous path.
When the people of Kinchlingi, we met them 4.5 years ago, they were looking to get water for drinking and sanitation. There had been applications made by the Gram Vikas, the NGO working with them, to give them gravity flow. But the funding wasn't coming through. So instead of waiting for more time for that water to come by, when we approached them, would you like to get some water using your own resources, seeds that you may have in your forest, convert that into oil and then into biodiesel and pump water yourself? So they jumped on the idea saying, we'll do it. Why wait for somebody else? After all, Gandhi said, self-help is the best help. And this is a good example.
The technology is simple, scaled to the needs of the village. Run by the villagers, and everyone shared both the work and the results of their labor. They grew and harvested indigenous seeds and traded with nearby villages to provide all they needed. The biodiesel they produced powered a pump that brought clean, fresh water. But that was just the beginning. The village was off the electric grid. It was then that the community of Kinchlingi decided not to wait.
There are at least 6,000 villages in Orissa alone which are deemed non-electrifiable by the grid, which means alternative energy sources are needed. So the idea is, instead of selling the oil seed, non-edible oil seed, they could make it into oil and biodiesel and retain the nutrient in the local area. The nutrient in the local area in the sense the oil cake can then become a fertilizer and increase agricultural productivity.
They used their biodiesel to power a generator and a mini-grid. And in 1 hour, they produce enough electricity to charge a large battery, which the next day would recharge 17 LED lights, one in each household. Now there are people in Kinchlingi who know how to produce oil from seeds and biodiesel from the oil, how to maintain and operate a pump and a generator, and the learning continue.
आमे शिखी पारलु भी एडी आसी गोटे काम टिलर चलेयागु बहुत आग्रह लागला आमे चलेयागु शिखिलु जियो लोक केबे के चलेची न चलेची आमे जानिनु आमे मात्र प्रथम रे टिलर शिखिलु चलेयागु बहुत भल लागला त आमे चलेई पारिबो
रबर पाइप काढी के प्लास्टिक पाइप हार्ड पाइप दे लगेबाक पड़ो बायोडीजल चलेले टिके जस्ट अधिका पिकअप टिके रहउची आ जस्ट तेल टिके स्मेल वासना होची ना नॉर्मल तेल बढिया.
Kinchlingi is now on the threshold of becoming a growing economy. Every batch of fuel is tested for quality in a lab at the training center just 100 kilometers away by trained village youth, potential barefoot technicians.
तेल रहो किंबा बायोडीजल रहो नाले से ग्लिसरीन रहो से डेंसिटी विस्कोसिटी ये जाने पे से बायोडीजल भलो कि खराब बायोडीजल तो जाने पे
One of the barefoot technicians trained in Kinchlingi has started his own mill and plans to buy biodiesel from Kinchlingi to operate his rice hulling equipment.
भविष्यत भावुची आजि काली तो देखिले बहुत गुड़े गाड़ी गुड़ा हो गला आउ कणी जिनिस किछि सरी जीव सुखी जीव निज ये जो बायोडीजल प्रोग्राम रे मो तो थिली बाहर को बा अन्य लोक ऊपर किछि निर्भर हबनी निजे मंजी कलेक्शन करके मंजी पेड़ी की से मंजी रु तेल बाहर करके पुणी से तेल रु बायोडीजल अति सहजरे करहब निजे आमको भी गाँ लोक केते कंड गाँ करी भी करहब से सुविधा से आम निजे करिकी निजे कले आम सुविधा बोलिकी मो एटा जो मेसीनटा मु आनी हाँ बायोडीजल पकई पार बेसी चेंज दरकार ना खाली जोटा बायोडीजल जीव सेटा खाली पाइपटा चेंज कर आमर जो किंचिलिंग रे करूचंती एबे तांके कले मु तांको कलेक्शन ये करके कांटेक्ट करके डीजल टू बायोडीजल टा कॉस्टटा कम अच्छी बायोडीजल करवा तैयारी करवा पड़े गाँ लोक कौन उपकार होची.
Seed cake, left over from oil production, is used to fertilize and enhance the soil, replacing commercial fertilizer in local agriculture. Glycerin, a byproduct from the biodiesel production, is used to make soap. Now, instead of buying alcohol for biodiesel production, there are plans to harvest local fruit that isn't eaten and produce the alcohol in the village. And the economy grows.
तो हम प्रोजेक्ट मेनली गाँ मानक काम करुच्ची जो गाँ गुड़ाक माने बर्तमान पर्यंत पछर अच्छा जो गाँ बर्तमान पर्यंत इलेक्ट्रिसिटी ना तो आम से मेनली से गाँव रे जंगल रे माने जो प्रकार आम सीड्स अवेलेबल देखुचु से प्रकार सीड्स आम आम मेसीन आम ऑयल प्रेस करछु से ऑयल बाहर करके आम फिल्टर करछु सो फिल्टर करी आम बायोडीजल कन्वर्ट करछु तो से बायोडीजल आम अल्कोहल डिस्टिलेशन मेसीन साहाय्य अल्कोहल रिमूव करी आम केमिति से गाँव रे इलेक्ट्रिक प्रोड्यूस करि पारबो थ्रू जनरेटर.
Beyond the money that now can stay in these villages, in addition to the growing self-sufficiency, the mysteries of technology are now understood. Young people from the villages learn about machinery and process.
In Orissa, even I would like to say in India, most of the technology things, like the machinery things, it has to be operated by men, most of the cases. But maybe this is the first thing where we have seen that the women are trying to operate the biodiesel machine. So that is something tremendous change, and they didn't believe that they can manage. But now at least they are managing.
When we're talking about biodiesel, we're talking about a fuel which is going to prime livelihoods. And when we say livelihoods, I think it encompasses much more than just jobs, because it's related to their everyday life and lifestyle. Their farming communities, subsistence communities, which are dependent on the forest. And so when all these can start getting value added and they see how there's a nutrient cycling within the community, I think it makes a big difference. Science is not about something that's in universities, but in everyday life. I think that's the kick that keeps us going.
Energy is absolutely necessary for improving the quality of life. Energy in lighting energy, energy for productive activities. Biodiesel, either directly coupling it into pumping or generation of electricity and then use it for any productive purpose is a very good alternative.
The way we work with a lot of young boys and girls from the village. Our barefoot technicians, Ramesh, learned something and went on to set up a rice huller. I think that's a success story. Of course, we lost a barefoot technician, but I think we can train more people. But this boy going out is spreading the message.
Mo biodiesel technique रहुथिबा 3 वर्ष रहुथिबा जुगु मो वर्तमान मो गर्वर कथा कहूची जे मो एबे एतिकी टेक्निक्स जानिथिबा तु मो निजे गोड़ निजे किमती करी निजे टिया हेबी बोली मोर गोटे साइकी हलर बसैकी से जो आमार वाटर जोटा सप्लाई करथिलु से मशीन इंजिन टा जेमिति ए इंजिन भी सेमिति हलर इंजिन भी सेमिति इंजिन टा अछि ସେଇଟିର ପାର୍ଟ ଯେମିତି ଏଟିର ପାର୍ଟ ସେମିତି ସେଇଟିର ମେଣ୍ଟେନାନ୍ସ ଯେମିତି ଏଟା ବି ସେମିତି ମେଣ୍ଟେନାନ୍ସ କରିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ। ଆଉ ହିସାବ ପତ୍ର ବୋଇଲେ ସେ ଯେମିତି ସେଠି ମୁଁ ଟେକ୍ନିକାଲ ରହିଥିଲି ସେମିତି ବାୟୋଡିଜେଲ ପ୍ରୋଗ୍ରାମ କ'ଣ ପାଇଁ ବୋଲେ ଆମ ଗାଁରେ ଆମ ନିମନ୍ତେ ଆମ ଲୋକ ପାଇଁ ଉପକାର ପାଇଁ ସେଇଟା ଟେକ୍ନିକ୍ ବା ଯେଉଁଟା ଆମର ହେଉଛି ସେଇଟା ଟ୍ରେନିଂ ନେବା ଆବଶ୍ୟକ ଜାଣିବା ଆବଶ୍ୟକ। କ'ଣ ସେମିତିକା ଲୋକ ପିଲାକୁ ନେଲେ ସେମାନେ କାମ କରିପାରିବେ କିଛି ଦୁଇ ପଇସା ମଧ୍ୟ ରୋଜଗାର କରିପାରିବେ ଅନ୍ୟ ଗାଁମାନଙ୍କୁ ବା ସେ ନିଜ ଗାଁରେ ଯାଇକି ସେମାନେ ନିଜେ ବୁଝେଇ ପାରିବେ ତାଙ୍କ ବି ଭବିଷ୍ୟତ ପାଇଁ ନିଜେ କରିପାରିବେ। ସେମାନେ ନିଜର ଟଙ୍କାକୁ ଅନ୍ୟ ଜଣକୁ ଦେଇକି ଗୋଟେ ଜିନିଷ ଆଣିଥିଲେ ଆଉ ସେଇଟା ନିଜେ ଗାଁରେ ସେ ଟଙ୍କା ରହିବ ଗାଁରେ ଯାହା ଜିନିଷ ବାହାରିବ ଗାଁରେ ରହିବ ବାହାରେ ଯିବନି ଯାଇକି ଆଜିକାଲି ତ ଦେଶକୁ ସବୁ ପଳାଉଛନ୍ତି ଦେଶ ନା ଯାଇକି ନିଜେ ଗାଁରେ ସାବୁନ ତିଆରି କରିପାରିବେ ବେଶୀ ଯଦି ବାୟୋଡିଜେଲ ତିଆରି ହେବ ବେଶୀ ଗ୍ଲିସରିନ୍ ବାହାରିଲେ ସେ ଗ୍ଲିସରିନ୍ ଦ୍ୱାରା ସାବୁନ ତିଆରି କରିକି ତାଙ୍କ ବି ବିଜନେସ୍ କରିପାରିବେ। ଏସ୍ଏଚଜି ମାଆ ମାନେ ବି କିଛି ଟଙ୍କା ମିଳିବ ସେଥିରେ କିଛି ତାଙ୍କେ କାମ ମଧ୍ୟ ମିଳିବ।
ଆମେ ଏଇ ବର୍ଷ କରିଥିଲୁ ଗୋଟେ ବିଲରୁ ସେଟା ଅଧା ଜାଗା ୟୁରିଆ ପକାଇଥିଲା ଆଉ ଅଧା ଜାଗା କରଞ୍ଜ ପିଡ଼ିଆ ପକାଇଥିଲା ଦେଖିଲୁ କରଞ୍ଜ ପିଡ଼ିଆଟା ଭଲ ହେଲା ନା ପୋକ କିଛି
ଗାଁର କାମ ଗାଁରେ ପାଇପାରିବେ ବିଦେଶକୁ ଯିବେନି ଯେମିତି ମୁଁ।
Now, when the sun goes down over Orissa, in Kinchlingi, men stay home. Families spend time productively, and children can do their homework with the light they have brought to their homes.